Have you ever felt so tired that it feels like your whole body and mind are begging for a break, yet the world around you doesn't seem to pause? That deep exhaustion, the kind that isn't just about sleep, but a weariness that seeps into your soul. It's more than being physically drained. It's the kind of tiredness that makes your heart feel heavy, your spirit feel crushed, and your mind clouded with doubts and fears. If you're sitting there right now feeling this way, know that you are not alone. And what you're about to hear will touch the deepest parts of your being. Keep listening, because this message holds the power to bring peace to your restless soul. Sometimes life piles on so much pressure that you barely recognize yourself. You wake up feeling tired before the day even begins. Tasks that once excited you now feel like mountains too steep to climb. You give everything you have, and yet it feels like you're running on empty. There's a constant ache, not just in your body, but inside, a quiet, lingering fatigue that whispers you're losing the fight. And in those moments, the weight of exhaustion isn't just uncomfortable. It's overwhelming. It can feel as if you're carrying the whole world alone, and you wonder how much longer you can keep going. This kind of tiredness goes beyond the surface. It touches the very core of who you are. It's the tiredness of the heart that's been broken, the spirit that's been bruised by disappointment, and the mind exhausted from endless worry. You might be holding on to pain you haven't fully released, or facing struggles that seem invisible to others. You might be battling fears about the future, doubts about your worth, or regrets from the past. And in all this, you feel unseen. Not just by the world, but maybe even by yourself. This is the raw, unspoken struggle many carry silently. But here's something vital to remember. Feeling tired in this way is not a sign of weakness. It is not a failure or a flaw. It's a deeply human experience. One that connects you to countless others who have walked through storms just as fierce. Your tiredness is real. It is valid, and it matters. The first step toward healing begins with giving yourself permission to acknowledge it. To say, I am tired, I am worn out, and that's okay. Because when you deny your exhaustion, you only deepen the ache. But when you face it honestly, you open a door to relief. Imagine for a moment a tired traveler who has been walking for days. Their feet are blistered, their body heavy, their spirit fading. Yet, when they finally pause and sit under the shade of a tree, something shifts. The act of resting, even briefly, begins to restore their strength. In that pause, hope can start to return. The same is true for your soul. Recognizing your tiredness, sitting with it instead of fighting it, allows your inner self to breathe. It's the first step toward reclaiming your energy and finding the strength to continue. This is why it's so important to listen to what your tiredness is telling you. It's a signal, a message from your deepest self that something needs to change. Maybe it's time to slow down, to let go of burdens that aren't yours to carry. Maybe it's time to seek help, to lean on others, or to find comfort in faith. Tiredness is not just a wall blocking your way. It can also be a guide pointing you toward healing. The challenge is to not push past it too quickly, or try to numb it with distractions. Instead, welcome it with compassion. The truth is, the exhaustion you feel has meaning. It means you have been strong enough to endure far more than you thought possible. It means you have faced hardships and kept going. It means you have a heart that cares deeply and a spirit that is still alive. Your tiredness is a testimony, not a defeat. It's a sign that you are human and that your journey, though hard, is still unfolding. If you can hold on to this truth, even in the darkest moments, you will find a small spark of hope within you. A hope that says, I am tired, but I am not finished. This hope is the seed from which new strength will grow. It will help you keep taking steps forward even when your legs feel weak. It will remind you that rest is not surrender. It is part of the process of becoming whole again. As you stay with these words, know that there is a reward waiting for you at the end of this message. It's a promise of peace and encouragement that speaks directly to your weary heart. So keep your mind open and your spirit ready, because understanding and embracing your tiredness is the beginning of a powerful transformation, one that will lead you to a place of calm resilience and renewed hope. Your journey is far from over, and the strength you seek is closer than you think. There is a profound comfort in knowing that your exhaustion does not go unnoticed. Deep within the quiet moments of your struggle, there is a presence that sees every tear you hide and knows every burden you carry. This is not an abstract idea or a distant hope. It is a powerful truth that you are deeply known. When you feel invisible to the world, this awareness can become a lifeline. It tells you that no matter how heavy your heart feels, no matter how lost or alone you seem, you are not forgotten. This knowledge reaches into the very core of human need. The need to be seen, to be understood, to be acknowledged. Our minds and hearts are wired for connection, especially in times of pain. When someone truly sees us, without judgment or expectation, it awakens a sense of safety and belonging. It is as if a heavy weight lifts, even if only for a moment. Knowing that your weariness is recognized by a power greater than yourself brings a quiet peace that no worldly comfort can match. You don't have to pretend to be strong or hide your brokenness. You don't have to put on a brave face or push through alone. The one who knows you fully accepts you exactly as you are, tired, worn, and vulnerable. This acceptance is not about weakness. It is about truth. It allows your soul to rest because it no longer has to fight to be worthy or enough. You are enough simply because you exist and you are seen. When you carry this truth deep within, it changes the way you face your challenges. Instead of battling exhaustion with frustration or guilt, you begin to approach it with compassion. You give yourself permission to be human, to feel tired without shame. And in that compassion, healing begins. This kind of knowing brings a strength that is quiet but unshakable. A strength rooted not in your own power, but in the certainty that you are never truly alone. Let this truth settle into your heart. You are seen. You are known. Your tiredness is witnessed with love. And in that, there is the beginning of rest. Prayer is often seen simply as asking for help when life feels overwhelming, but it is much more than that. It is a sacred connection, a lifeline that reaches beyond your own strength and resources. When you pray, you are not just speaking words into the air. You are opening a door to something greater than yourself. Prayer is the act of showing up, even when you feel empty and powerless. It is a quiet surrender, a deep act of faith that says, I may be tired, but I am still here. I still believe. This simple act holds incredible power. It shifts your focus from what you cannot control to what is possible. When you pray, you acknowledge that you do not have to carry your burdens alone. You invite a higher strength to stand with you, to hold you, and to guide you through the darkness. This is not about magic or instant fixes. It is about building a connection that restores your spirit and renews your hope. Prayer also changes your inner world. It calms the restless mind and soothes the anxious heart. In the quiet moments of prayer, you create space to listen, to breathe, and to find peace even in the storm. This peace is not dependent on your circumstances. It comes from knowing that you are supported and loved beyond measure. When your spirit feels weak, prayer becomes the anchor that holds you steady. Even if your words feel awkward or your heart feels numb, the simple act of reaching out matters. It is proof that you have not given up. Every prayer, no matter how small, is a step toward healing and strength. Prayer helps you face the tiredness not by ignoring it, but by embracing it with courage and hope. It is a reminder that your story is still unfolding and that you are never truly alone on this journey. Waiting is one of the hardest parts of any struggle. When you are tired and praying, your heart longs for answers, relief, and change right now. But often, the path forward isn't immediate or clear. Waiting feels like standing in a quiet room where time slows down and the silence grows heavy. It can make your mind spin with questions and doubts. Why is this taking so long? Will things ever get better? The struggle to wait patiently can feel like a second burden added on top of your exhaustion. Yet, waiting is not a waste of time. It is a quiet but powerful place where transformation happens beneath the surface. When you wait, your spirit is being shaped. Resilience is growing inside you, even if you can't see it yet. Just like a seed buried in the dark soil, waiting is part of the process of becoming stronger and ready for what lies ahead. It teaches you to hold on, even when hope feels fragile. In the stillness of waiting, you learn to trust beyond what your eyes can see. Your patience is not passivity, it is courage. It is choosing to believe that something better is coming, even when the moment is painful. This kind of waiting builds character and deepens faith. It allows you to grow from a place of dependence on your own strength to a place of reliance on something greater. Waiting also offers a chance to rest, not just the body, but the mind and heart. It gives you space to heal from wounds you may not even realize you are carrying. In that pause, you can gather the pieces of yourself that exhaustion has scattered. This time, though difficult, is preparing you for a breakthrough. So when waiting feels unbearable, remember that it is part of your journey, not a detour from it. Even when you don't understand the reason for the wait, your persistence matters. Your decision to keep holding on is a sign of incredible strength. Waiting is teaching you patience, resilience, and hope, qualities that will carry you far beyond this tired season. Trusting when you can't see the path ahead is one of the most courageous acts you will ever make. It's easy to believe when everything feels clear, when results come quickly, and when hope shines bright. But true trust is built in the shadows, in the uncertainty, the silence, and the moments when all you can do is take a step forward without knowing what comes next. It's like walking on a path covered in fog, where you cannot see the destination, but you keep moving because you believe the journey will lead you somewhere better. This kind of trust isn't blind or foolish. It's rooted in a deep understanding that life is not always in your control. It means accepting that sometimes you won't have all the answers, and that's okay. Trust asks you to surrender the need for certainty and instead embrace faith that things are working together for your good, even when it doesn't feel like it. This surrender is not about giving up. It's about letting go of the heavy burden of trying to control everything. Human psychology teaches us that uncertainty often triggers fear and anxiety. It's natural to want to retreat or resist when the future seems unclear. But choosing trust in those moments rewires your mind. It trains you to respond with hope instead of fear, with courage instead of doubt. Trust becomes a muscle you build by practicing small acts of faith every day. Like believing in yourself, believing in the process, and believing in something greater than yourself. Trust also gives you peace amid chaos. When you let go of the desperate need to figure everything out, your heart can rest. You find freedom in knowing that you don't have to carry the weight alone. This peace is a quiet strength that steadies you through storms and lifts your spirit when weariness threatens to take over. Even in your tiredness, trust whispers that you are being guided and protected. Holding on to trust when you can't see the full picture isn't easy, but it is exactly what moves you forward. It is what bridges the gap between exhaustion and renewal, between despair and hope. Hope! Choosing to trust means you are still fighting, not with your own power, but with the power of faith that can move mountains. When you are deep in exhaustion, it's easy to believe that your struggle will never end, that the weight on your shoulders will never lift. But often, the moments when you feel the most worn down are the moments right before your breakthrough. Life has a way of testing us, pushing us to our limits, and then revealing strength we didn't know we had. Your tiredness is not the end of your story. It is the quiet signal that something new is about to begin. The darkest times often come just before the dawn. When everything feels bleak and hope seems distant, that's the time to hold on tight. Because the breakthrough you've been waiting for, the change, the relief, the answer, may be closer than you think. Your journey through pain and fatigue is preparing you for a new chapter filled with growth and opportunity. Psychology shows that human beings often grow the most through hardship. Challenges stretch us, teach us, and shape us into stronger, wiser versions of ourselves. Your tiredness, your waiting, and your trust are all part of this growth process. Though it may feel like you are stuck in the same place, inside you, change is happening. The strength you are building now will carry you forward into a future that once seemed impossible. When you keep your faith alive in the midst of struggle, you become a living example of resilience. Every day you endure, every moment you refuse to give up, you move closer to your breakthrough. It may not look like much now, but these small acts of perseverance add up. They create a foundation for a powerful transformation that will not only change your life, but inspire others as well. So when the tiredness tries to convince you to quit, remember this: your breakthrough is nearer than you think. Hold on to hope. Keep praying, waiting, and trusting, because after the hardest battles come the greatest victories, and your victory is on its way. Your journey through hardship and exhaustion does not just affect you. It has the power to inspire others in ways you may never realize. When you continue to hold on, to trust, and to keep going despite feeling tired, you become a beacon of hope for those around you. Your story, with all its struggles and triumphs, shows others that it is possible to face life's hardest moments and still rise. Human beings are wired to connect through shared experiences. When someone sees you pushing through your pain, it speaks to their own struggles. Your courage becomes a silent encouragement that says, if they can do it, maybe I can too. This ripple effect spreads strength far beyond what you can see. Your endurance shines a light in the darkness for others who might be lost, tired, or ready to give up. The power of your story is not in perfection, but in your authenticity. Being open about your tiredness and your decision to keep trusting despite it shows real strength. It reminds others that it's okay to be vulnerable, to admit when they are struggling, and to still choose hope. Your journey becomes a message that failure and fatigue are not the end, they are just part of the process of becoming who you are meant to be. By embracing your weariness and continuing to pray, wait, and trust, you create a legacy of resilience. Your life becomes proof that no matter how hard the battle, it is possible to keep moving forward. This inspires others to find their own strength and courage in their darkest moments. Remember, your struggles are not just your own. They are part of a larger story that connects all of us. When you choose to keep going, you don't just change your own life. You light the way for countless others. Your faith and perseverance become a powerful force that spreads hope far beyond what you can imagine. There is a promise that waits for every weary soul. A promise of renewal, peace, and strength. When exhaustion has weighed you down and hope seemed distant, this promise stands firm, ready to fill the empty spaces within. It is a truth that your spirit can hold on to, even when the world feels heavy and your energy is low. This promise says that your weariness will not last forever. There will be a day when peace floods your heart, when strength returns like a river, and when hope awakens inside you once again. Renewal is not just about recovering what was lost. It is about becoming new, stronger, and more alive than before. Just as seasons change, bringing new growth after winter's chill, your life is moving toward a fresh beginning. This transformation may come slowly or suddenly, but it is certain. The energy that feels drained today is preparing to burst forth with new purpose and vitality. Peace is a gift that goes beyond the absence of struggle. It is a deep calm that fills the heart and quiets the mind, no matter what storms rage around you. This peace roots you in the certainty that you are not alone, that a higher power is working on your behalf. It steadies you when the weight of tiredness tries to overwhelm, giving you the courage to keep walking forward. Trusting this promise means choosing to believe that better days are coming, even when you can't yet see them. It means continuing to pray, to wait, and to hold on, because your journey is leading you to a place of rest and renewal. This is the hope that will carry you through every difficult moment. The hope that the tiredness you feel today is only temporary, and that a brighter, more peaceful tomorrow waits. Hold on to this promise tightly. Let it remind you that you are never alone in your struggle. Your prayers are heard, your waiting is not wasted, and your trust will be rewarded. Better days are coming, and with them, a peace that will fill your soul and renew your strength.